It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday, my dudes.
And welcome back in here to We Talk Sports Good. We are back here on another Wednesday night, and we are talking football, and more football here in the We Talk Sports Good virtual place. And as always, the usual duo, Randall and I, are here tonight to bring you all the college and NFL football news and action.
Yes, sir.
So, I don't think I've got any interesting tidbits this time to start it off. Guess congrats Robbie Ray of the Blue Jays for winning the AL Cy Young.
Oh yeah, I did see that right before we hopped on.
Yeah. That was not too long ago that it got announced. They're kind of slowly putting out some of those MLB awards, so cool stuff there. So Verlander signed back to Houston on a 1-year deal. We have, I guess I am going to throw some tidbits out there. I do actually want to get your thought on this one as a very casual baseball fan. Mm-hmm. Did you see Carlos Correa saying Derek Jeter didn't deserve any of his Gold Gloves, as New York is one of the teams interested in possibly signing him?
I did. Turns out, Dom, I can't say too many bad things about Correa because I may or may not work with someone who is very, very close with him. So I'm going to refrain from...
Okay.
But, yeah.
Two things I want to go off of that. One, random fact. One of our founding fathers, R.I.P. but not R.I.P. Thomas, led up a home run to Carlos Correa in high school.
Oof. Probably could have let up a few more.
So Thomas
Really?
did.
Where did Correa go?
It was like a tournament. He came in for, it was like one of those, I think he was playing in Puerto Rico tournament kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I do forget that Thomas was really, really good at baseball before his arm died, right? Isn't that pretty much the story?
Yeah, so Thomas was actually good. You know, he wasn't one of those guys oh man, I was good, and no, Thomas was actually good. Yes. Then his arm. Yeah. Before his arm went bye.
That's
yes.
Nice.
But yes, Thomas was actually good. So Thomas actually has good baseball stories. Two, I am actually Team Correa on this. Derek Jeter is so overrated.
Oof.
I am on that bandwagon. He is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the very, very good top kind of guys, but he is so overrated because he was a Yankee.
You think, but okay, so but
his defense wasn't that good though. Okay.
Really?
No, he had no range. So yeah, he made all his routine plays, but the nerd in statistics on, if you want to dig into that, he actually had negative run saved value because he had no range. He made his plays that he's supposed to make, but he didn't save you any extra plays because he didn't have any extra range. He had a great arm, so when he could get to the ball, he made the plays. But he actually had a negative value overall because he didn't have as good of range.
This is me being such a baseball casual. When you were saying range, I now understand that you're saying speed to get to the ball. I thought you meant range as in he couldn't throw that far. And I was like, I've seen him make that off the... But now, I understand what you're saying. And now the whole that's the Derek Jeter move where he has to jump off his back foot. Now it makes sense. Oh, he had to do that because he wasn't able to get to the ball.
Right. Honestly, it was such a cool play. But yeah, you look at it and it's actually... Your top defensive shortstops don't have to do that because they've gotten to the ball and can make a normal throw. He had to do that out of necessity because he didn't have as great of range. And if you look at it, I kind of briefly heard it, so I did miss this, is he really only won his Gold Gloves when Omar Vizquel wasn't there in the AL because Omar Vizquel is a monster defensive shortstop. So he got him, but he wasn't really. It was kind of one that he got some. And it was just, he was the name too, and you're
right.
Oh, he doesn't make any errors. And when he did win, I'm it's fair. You didn't really maybe look at like the metrics of like how good the guy was, and then like Fernando Tatis can make all these great plays and great range, but he also makes a lot of errors. So like in the balance of like, I'm not saying he's a terrible defensive shortstop. Like he probably did earn some of them, but maybe he did get two. Maybe I think he had 5, so maybe he got 2 or 3 just because of name. Maybe he didn't really deserve all of them, and I think that's a fair statement to say because his name was Derek Jeter, and I think we put him as an all-time great a little too high because in the end, when you're picking players like all-time teams, I'm not picking him. I'm not picking him as my shortstop. I'm going in many other directions. So not to get more into that debate, I'm just saying like I do think he does get overrated because he was a Yankees shortstop. But in the end, like he wasn't like phenomenal like at one thing. He was a very good player and very long, consistent player, so you do get respect for that. But like he in the end, like if you're gonna just take like the best guy, like oh my gosh, just phenomenal, right? Yeah, I'm taking Ozzie Smith, someone like that, the phenomenal talent with the speed and the range, who can make any play. Like I'm gonna take someone like that.
That's a deep. I feel like for me
that was a deep grab. That was a deep grab. I will definitely give you that. So, like, that's just where I'm saying.
Wasn't A-Rod a shortstop for majority of his career?
He was early on. I think that was also just like A-Rod wasn't as great.
Oh,
defensively. Cal Ripken, yeah. Barry Larkin was a gold glove of gold gloves.
Fair enough. Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, like, yes, he's Jeter's up there. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to take that away. But, like, I definitely take like a Cal Ripken maybe over him,
Well, Jose Reyes is the greatest shortstop of all time, and I'll not take it. Jose Reyes, New York.
I mean, to be fair, A-Rod got pushed to third, and I think that was probably the correct move. So not saying A-Rod was really like a defensive shortstop either.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So there we go. I did have a random tidbit to start. So, well, all right, we'll jump right back into college football now, and looking in a review here of our picks, and then we'll look in a review of the games of last week. I bounced back from my 3-7 week with a 6-4, hit the lock of the week, which we both did. That UConn plus 41, it was just too many points. Did not hit on my OU covering since they lost. I did get Western Kentucky to cover their 18.5. Tennessee did not cover with the 20. Boston College and Texas Tech, even with the plus points, they just outright won, so didn't even need those. Shout out kicker, the 62-yard field goal for Tech to win. Hawaii lost, so it didn't matter about the -3. Did I not say Ole Miss was just going to win? I didn't need the points, so I got that. Air Force covered their -3, and mistake on my part, as I said before the show, did not realize Armstrong was not going to play for Virginia. I would definitely not have taken the points, plus points, even for Virginia if I knew. But that is my fault, so I'll take it. So 6-4 week. I will take it overall because that puts me 53-2 on the year. My lock of the week is back up to 5-5-1.
All right. Well, I went a measly 4-6. Not a great week. Like you said, I did get my lock of the week with UConn plus 41 versus Clemson. I hit on Pittsburgh -6.5 versus UNC. Just can't trust UNC. Missed on OU -5.5 versus Baylor. Woof. Missed on Western Kentucky -18 versus Rice. Missed on South Alabama plus 22.5 versus App State. Hit on Louisiana -6.5 versus Troy. Still think Billy Napier should not be there next year and should be somewhere really good. Tulane missed on Tulane plus 3.5 versus Tulsa, or plus 3 versus Tulsa. Missed on TCU plus 13 versus OSU in a big way. Hit on Notre Dame -5.5 versus Virginia, and then missed on the game that I knew I shouldn't have put anything on. Why would I even talk about it? Miami -2.5 versus Florida State.
Oh, Miami. That is one team I don't think I've touched at all. No, I took the App State at the beginning of the year, and that was it, because I picked App State. So, yeah, don't blame me at all on that. Miami is one of those teams that I just say I'm staying away unless I'm for sure going against them.
Remember that one time I said King could potentially be the Heisman winner
I
this year?
do remember that.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Remember one of our very first shows when we were doing the live reaction in Miami was like in the playoff race, and we got a random segment of YouTube Miami fans that joined our show, basically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were the ones. I've
you
only
had the
ever had
block.
to drop a. Yeah, I was gonna say I've only ever had to drop a ban on one person in the history of the show, and I'm pretty sure it was one of those
It
Miami
was
fans.
definitely the rowdy Miami fans in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Rowdy and racist, though, was the reason that I had to drop the block hammer. We do not accept that around these here parts.
Nope. Yikes. So,
Yeah.
moving into the game action here, we'll just kind of kick around from the time slots. I will take a road win. That was a rough weather condition, and man, dude, I mean, I think I don't know how much you saw of it, but I mean, I knew coming in like our defensive ends are monsters.
Yeah, y'all are really good. Which was wild because y'all had Owe, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, not Owe. That was Penn State. Y'all had
Quiddy Pay last year.
Like this defense, this defensive end, Lord.
Yeah, we're good. Well, I mean, obviously, Cade got hurt. Hutchinson's got hurt last year and missed most of the year. Think about that. We could have had Aiden. I'm mixing Aiden and Cade, mixing and matching McNamara and Hutchinson. But yeah, Hutchinson was out last year, but we could have had him and Pay all year. Granted, I think we're seeing, Joe Milton did not make us pay and was not the wrong choice on letting him leave, but he's the wrong choice last year to start.
Right.
So I think that would have sunk us last year.
Sneaky, really good season with the Colts.
Yeah, he's a good player. We produce defensive line fairly well. Yeah, that is one thing we have been still consistent on is producing defensive line.
I still think there's a breakout for
Yeri?
Oh, yes.
I think so too.
I still think it's looming.
He just he had all the potential, and he's just taking a lot longer to get there.
But I think I'm not saying he's going to be like a top 10 pass rusher or anything. But
Right,
I think he's going to be like a really solid. The problem with him is his size is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. He's a tweener.
Where he's a weird tweener. But I think he's going to get there. I still do.
Yeah, I mean. I did too. I thought, I know people were ripping him. Yes, it was probably a little higher than he should have gone just because you're drafting him on potential. Right. And I don't think he'll hit that top end, but like he's going to be a very productive NFL player. We produce defensive ends, man. That is something you can trust Michigan to do right now.
Winovich isn't horrible either.
Right? We have a pretty good track. We're going to put 2 more out there.
Yeah.
So, just saying. So, yeah, pretty happy. I'm just happy we were out without Corum, too, with the injury last week. So, he was able to get healthy. I'm not sure if he's playing next week, but, I mean, we still have Haskins, so it's all good. So, yeah. So, I'm happy. We'll just move on and not take it too far in advance. But, got to win the next game first, and then we'll worry about Ohio State later. But, hey, we won at Penn State. We were winning road games that had been a while. Wisconsin, what did I say? It was 2001 since we won at Wisconsin. We got that. We've won some at Penn State, but it's not a great overall record there in the last 20 or so years. So
9-1 though.
9-1, baby. We still have potential. So they're just making that heartbreak even more by the end of the year. Look, I'm not even trying to predict the win, but like. It would only be right for Michigan to somehow actually beat Ohio State, and then we have to play Wisconsin again and lose.
Mm-hmm.
That would only be right. And you know what? I honestly don't think I would be that mad because we'd actually beat Ohio State.
Right.
I think in the end that sounds really sad. It's like, well, how about a playoff appearance? But like, I mean, there's no way to make it without. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not even trying to guarantee anything. I'm not saying, we're going to go win, but. I'm happy that at least this game's looking like it could be a competitive one. I'm still concerned if we have to get into a shootout, we're done. McNamara's only shown it once to throw it around, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, not dwelling on it. Speaking of angry people, though, Lincoln Riley's throwing a fit over there as they get taken down with the timeout then field goal for quote-unquote tiebreakers. Baylor 27, Oklahoma 14. As Caleb Williams got his hand stepped on, and we saw Spencer Rattler back in, and not matter at all. I didn't catch much, obviously, with my focus mainly on Michigan, but...
Right. Yeah, it was kind of weird that they only threw the ball 24 times altogether. Just kind of strange. I guess, to be fair, though, if I'm remembering right, Baylor pretty handedly dominated time of possession, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly from that game.
Well, and it was all fourth quarter scoring.
Right.
Because it was 10-7 after the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could still be running.
Yeah.
You're right, it was 35-24.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Gary Bohannon's interesting. I don't know how I feel about him.
He's a good college quarterback.
Right, where it's like, I don't think he's even got really a shot in the NFL necessarily, but, like, I also could see him, because I want to say he's just a junior or sophomore, junior.
Double check that.
Yeah, double check that for me. I'm almost positive he's not a senior.
He's a junior.
Junior. Where he's like somebody that I'm like, okay, I feel like he could make noise, like serious noise next year, but also like still not have a shot at being talked about in the draft type of guy.
Yeah, his accuracy can sometimes be a little all over the place.
Oof, yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yep.
Well, good for Baylor there. I mean, it was just like, well, OU still has their shot. I mean, coming into the week, being ranked so low, and this is where the committee's sitting there and laughing at all those OU fans that were mad and say, like, hey, you guys aren't that good.
Right.
So, I know this wasn't a loss, but I was actually starting to get a little concerned for Florida. They won 70-52.
Yeah, they kind of suck. I don't know what to make of them.
I mean, can we stop calling that a good win now for teams?
Oh, God, yeah.
Because that was like, oh, Florida played Bama tough. They're a good team.
Right.
That's a good win for Bama, as we have a 5-5 Florida now.
Yeah, they're a very strange team. And, are they... who's the kid? Who's the Anthony Richardson? Mm-hmm. Have they decided to commit to him at all yet? I don't really watch Florida. I don't want to watch them.
I know last week in the loss he didn't play because he got hurt dancing at the hotel. I don't know if the injury is still lingering because it was still Emory Jones, and I mean I know it's a bad team, but he did throw for 460 and 6 touchdowns, no picks. So I feel like they'll have to just stick with him for the rest of the year. But I also feel like Richardson's sometimes got his foot on the way out if he wants to transfer.
Yeah, because what year's Emory?
He's a junior.
And then Anthony's
He's young.
Is he a sophomore?
Freshman.
Oh, no, he's a freshman. Oh.
But he sure doesn't seem super happy is what I mean. I've heard he's had some very cryptic tweets that make people feel like he might leave. And that's been all year. So, I don't know. It's very odd.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, quite frankly, we'll take him at Texas because what do you think right now?
Well, I know I said by time, but you just mentioned it.
Yeah. So we lost to Kansas, Dom.
You did.
We are not a good team. We have lost 5 straight games.
Bijan's out for the year.
Bijan's out for the year. Josh Thompson's out for the year. We have no quarterback. Both of our quarterbacks suck. And our defense is horrendous. Xavier Worthy's good?
That's true.
That is that's about it. That is about it. I would not be upset if every single player that's on this team, except for Xavier Worthy, Bijan, and I'll take Alfred Collins on the defensive side of the ball, were gone after next year. Everyone but them could leave, and I'd be okay with that, pretty much. Because the rest of the defensive players that are actually decent, like Overshown's good, but he's a senior. I believe Deshaun Jamison is a senior. He's pretty good. And then I want to say Coburn's definitely a senior. Yeah. We're bad, man. We're just really bad.
What percentage? I mean, now that it's even worse, can you break a 2-game winning streak to go to a bowl?
Wait, say that again.
You're 4-6.
Are you asking, do I think we're going to go to a bowl game?
Yeah. What percentage would you give?
Is there an actual requirement on wins?
You have to go 6-6, and it could take you at 5-7 if you're one of the top. What is the academic performance? The matrix is super high.
Okay, well that's not us.
So you have to go 6-6 then.
So we have to win 2 more games.
You have to win your last 2 at West Virginia and then versus Kansas State. 7-3 Kansas State.
We will not be going to a bowl game.
What percentage do you give it? What slight percentage do you give?
30.
Okay. That's more optimistic than I thought you'd be.
Yeah, I'd say 30, because I do think we have a really good player in Roshan, that's very underrated.
I'm just very concerned about that Kansas State game. I think you could still beat West Virginia. I don't know about Kansas State, man.
We lose consistently to Kansas State.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about that one.
The
And
only
just
thing that
Vaughn
I'm
running
confident-
loose.
See, I am actually more confident in the Kansas State than the West Virginia game, though, because I don't think we're going to win a game at another team's facility. The last team that we beat, we've only won one away game this year, and it was TCU. Every other away game we've played, we've lost. We've lost at Arkansas, won at TCU, lost at Baylor, lost at Iowa State. And I don't like playing in Morgantown at all. So I'm very not confident in that game. I don't care if we had Colt McCoy still. If we were playing at Kansas State, we'd lose because we can't play in Manhattan at all. We always lose at Manhattan. So I'm very not confident. I'm not confident. I give us a 50-50 shot that we go 4-8.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I think there's a 50-50 chance we go 4-8.
Oh, that'd be a very rough way to end the year.
Yeah. We haven't been that bad since I believe one of the last Mac Brown years. We were that bad. I believe. I would have to double check that.
Man, and and then really the only other game I want to talk about.
We went 5-7 in 2010.
So you
with
might
Mac.
possibly tie or make that worse.
Yeah, so that was the first year after Colt McCoy. That would have been the Garrett Gilbert year.
I was gonna say, because out of all weeks, you have OU go down, and the only other game I was going to bring up this week is A&M goes down, and you still gave OU and A&M fans something to smile about.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
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 I'll let you move on from it because I really want to brag on my Ole Miss pick here because I don't think I put it on record on the show and I only put it in text, so I'm really upset about it. I said 10-2 Ole Miss and they beat A&M this year.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now, granted, they got to win the last 2 games, which one is Vanderbilt, so I'm not concerned. And then the Egg Bowl, which Mississippi State is the most 50-50 team you'll ever see. They'll show up one game and play great against a good team, then they'll suck versus a terrible or average team. So it is at Mississippi State. It is a rivalry game. Granted, Leach doesn't usually. I mean, I'm going to the Washington State games, but he doesn't win his rivalry games there, at least. But I'm still feeling pretty good about that. 10-2 Ole Miss. All aboard the Lane train, man.
The Lane train.
All aboard, man. And I didn't get to catch all of it or very much, honestly, but Lane was also being the guest picker and partying it up during game day. On site at game day. So
yeah,
props to him. Just I feel like this is like the perfect job for him.
Yeah, it does. It seems like it because there's like not that much pressure.
Right, you pull one of these years off.
Fun.
Right, you just pull one of these years off every once in a while. Hey, win 9 or 10 games, get us to a New Year's Six bowl every once in a while. It's awesome. You'll keep our offense entertaining. We'll just have a bunch of drunk frat kids having fun. Like, man, you're gonna bring us the money. Lane covers for the donors. You know those rich guys are gonna help putting that money in the program. You'll keep covering the spreads for them, so they keep betting on him. So it's the perfect place, and it's not a national championship. Like, you better have that happen. So,
right.
Hey, you'll upset someone every once in a while. Win your rivalry versus Mississippi State majority of the time, and we're cool. So that is like like I know his name's gotten floated a lot. Well, I've seen it to like LSU. I've even seen some things about Florida fans want him there, but I feel like he's just got a cushy gig.
Can you imagine him with the like craziness that's LSU fans though?
That is the only other place I could honestly maybe see him in the SEC I would like to see.
Yeah.
LSU at night with Lane Kiffin riling up the fans.
Oof.
He will be paying the fines for the band to be playing neck all game.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna like write a check and be like, play it all night.
Wild.
That would be the most trolling game versus Alabama ever.
Yep.
Yeah. So, just wanted to throw that shout out there before moving on to a couple notes. Before picks of the weeks, I do want to just bring up very quickly, because I know you mentioned before we started, or no, you mentioned it during actually. The one name I definitely know will be going somewhere big, but we have quite a bit of new openings at Power 5. Notably USC, LSU, TCU, Virginia Tech, Washington, and Washington State. One big name, obviously, I think we both think should be gone, is Billy Napier.
Yes.
He's got to be one of these.
Should have been done next year, and it's. I guess I was premature on it a little bit, but well, actually, no, I don't think I was, because it turns out I would have been right about it. But
I'm not asking you to fill all these places because I feel like Sonny Dykes to TCU is now a thing, because he seems like he passed up Tech. And he didn't take the money from SMU, so I feel like that means he's waiting to the end of the year to take the TCU job, which feels like a fit. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of mark that one off. I have no idea where USC is going. I feel like they haven't made noise. Like LSU, and I know Woodyard is known for swinging big. Going through his history, I don't know if you know much. He was Washington AD first, who got Peterson to leave Boise State by throwing a bunch of money at him. He actually had Sark before Sark left. Fun fact, if you didn't know that. He went to A&M. He's the one that got Jimbo there with the ridiculous, massive contract. He overpaid to get Buzz Williams, the basketball coach, to leave Virginia Tech. Then he went to LSU and got Kim Mulkey to leave Baylor. And now he is the AD getting all the rumors flying around for Jimbo again and Lincoln Riley. So I feel Billy Napier.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like Billy Napier to LSU is the perfect fit. But I feel like he's going to be.
I feel like Billy Napier to LSU,
but I feel like it makes too much sense because I feel like he's going to sit around swinging too big. And I think Billy Napier, I think he might leave for Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech just straight up offers him the job, and LSU's going to be sitting around swinging around for big coaches. And he's like, I don't know what they're doing. I'm their plan C. Do I wait or do I just take the job that I know I have in a Power 5 gig?
Yeah. I think you'd mentioned the USC job.
I just haven't heard anything. I mean, James Franklin thing has died down.
I think the James Franklin thing is smoke. I don't think he leaves Penn State.
I don't think so either. But he did also hire in the middle of the year Jimmy Sexton, the power agent of college football coaches.
Yeah. Do you think is LSU? I think LSU is, but I don't think Fickle. I'm talking about Fickle.
Oh, okay.
Like, do you think that
Fickle would take USC over LSU?
That's what I was gonna say. I don't feel like Fickle doesn't suit LSU to me. Really.
No, he doesn't.
But I'm wondering if SC is a bit like. Does SC actually carry that weight to get Fickle?
I think he'd take it over LSU. I think because USC, I mean, they're in such a. I think LSU. This is where I'm split. I say LSU's the better job, but you're going to get fired a lot quicker. USC is the better situation because you have the resources of California. Like, you should, in theory, be able to recruit easily. You have the money, and you technically get usually more time.
Right. And we will also see, we'll see this. Is it this week that Dart's supposed to start?
I hope so. He should.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
I almost took USC in the points, but I keep feeling like they keep going back and forth on Slovis and Dart, so I just said, nope, not touching it.
Yeah.
Also want to throw a name out there real quick.
First start.
Oh, good. He should. Last name I want to throw out there, because I mentioned Billy Napier, I think maybe to Virginia Tech. I heard this. I don't know. I see no legs to it, but curious on your thoughts. Gary Patterson to Virginia Tech.
Gary Patterson to Virginia Tech. Would Virginia Tech consider Patterson?
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like TCU and Virginia Tech are a little bit in the same ballpark, and I feel like he actually needs to go a little bit lower.
Yeah. Just curious. I heard it briefly mentioned, so I just wanted to gauge someone else's thoughts on it. I went, I could see it potentially. I could see him being. I could see him trying it. It's a big name.
That is very interesting.
If you're Virginia Tech, you're like, we're relevant. Remember us? We had Beamer for a long time.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like they could swing for it, and it could work out. I mean, the ACC. That's the Coastal, right? I mean, shoot, that is such a crapshoot on that side. I mean, you have a shot at taking, having a chance to win it every once in a while if you just get some stability. Mm-hmm. Did Patterson have a decent record versus Mac?
Versus
Mac Brown?
Their paths didn't cross that much.
I was going to say that was not much overlap, but...
Yeah, I would venture to say he did, because...
That would have been the end.
I'm sorry?
I said because that would have been the end.
That was when TCU had, what was that quarterback right after Andy Dalton that was actually pretty good?
Oh, no. Dang it.
I can see his face.
I know who you're talking about, and I'm going blank. Well, all right then.
Yeah. can't think.
I know exactly who you're talking about, and I cannot for the life of me remember his name.
Yeah, it would have been
Well, you look it up.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm
we
looking it
need to know this, but anyways, I just wanted to throw that out to you though, just out of curiosity.
I keep saying Tosh Boyd, but he's Clemson.
That's Clemson.
But it would have been like the same time as that.
But
Actually, no.
anyways, yeah. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. So while you look it up, I'm gonna get to my picks here real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
So oh no, as my notes want to disappear on me. So this next week we are in week 12 already. So starting it off with, I'm going to take Michigan State plus 19 at Ohio State. I think Ohio State wins, but plus 19 just feels like just a little too much. As if this is a Gus Johnson game, which no, it's not. If it was a Gus Johnson game, Gus Johnson would say about 20 times that Mel Tucker, it's like a prize boxing match, and they may win some rounds, but we're going to win the overall fight. They're going to keep punching us, but we're going to have the knockout punch, as I think I heard him say 20 to 25 times versus Michigan. So I'll keep them to at least keep it within the 19. Going for a bounce back, I'm going to take OU minus 3.5 versus Iowa State. I just feel like they can't not lose. I don't feel like they can lose twice in a row, and I think they gotta win at least decently to show something. I'm going to take App State minus 10 at Troy. I'm going to take BYU minus 20 at Georgia Southern. Back on that BYU wagon. Not like I was ever off of it. Go BYU. I'm going to take NC State minus 11.5 versus Syracuse. NC State's still a pretty solid team. Then I'm going to go back to the Yukon well in the civil conflict and take the plus 30.5 at UCF. I'm not feeling great, but 30.5 just feels a little too much. And it's a rivalry, man. It's a rivalry. And then my lock of the week is going to be Louisiana plus 4.5 at Liberty. We briefly talked about, I don't really think Willis is that good versus good teams, and I think Billy Napier's a great coach. So I think Louisiana outright wins, but I'm going to take the points there, of course. I'm going to take Baylor plus 1 at Kansas State. I do think they'll just win. I'm going to take South Carolina plus 7.5 at Auburn. No Bo Nix. Depends on how you feel about TJ Finley. I think even if they lose, I think South Carolina can outright win. But if they don't, 7.5, I'll take a touchdown loss for sure or less. And then cap it off, I'm going to take Utah State minus 5 versus Wyoming. Don't know much about either team, going to be honest, but Utah State's like 8-2 and Wyoming's like 500, so I feel like Utah State's got to win by more than 5. So there you go.
You're gonna feel really stupid.
Oh no. Say it.
Trevon Boykin.
Oh duh. Oh my gosh. That was the game too I went to the bowl game that they beat Oregon in the 4 overtimes with the biggest second half comeback, and he wasn't starting because he punched the cop at the bar.
Yeah,
and we went to the bar. We even went to the bar because we didn't get there till the next day. So we're like, oh, we gotta go find the bar that Boykin punched the dude.
Right, and Josh Doxson was the good wide receiver. Listen to this quarterback room, by the way, though. Like, some notable other quarterbacks. The Zach Allen that ended up going to, by the way, Temple grad. That's probably where we know him the most from. But I think he ended up going. He transferred and played somewhere notable, but I can't remember what it was. But then another name that's on here, Matt Jokel, brother of Luke Jokel, that transferred from A&M, I believe.
All right, yeah.
Also, Longview native Travon Howard was a running back for that team that was very good.
All right. Cool. Well, then what are your picks?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. All right. Let me hold it back up here. All right. So I've got, to start it off, I've got Michigan State plus 19 versus Ohio State. I will take them to cover. Not necessarily win, but I'll take them to cover. I will take a pissed off OU team minus 3.5 versus Iowa State. Yep. I will take Louisiana Tech minus 16 versus Southern Miss. I will take. This is the one that I mentioned when we were talking before that I was like, I probably shouldn't do this. I will take UMass plus 37 versus Army.
All right.
Just that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot for the triple option. Dom, you're gonna be mad at me. I'll take Michigan minus 15 versus Maryland.
That's all right. I'm not the one picking it.
Yep. I'm gonna take Louisiana plus 4.5 versus Liberty. I'm gonna take Baylor plus 1 versus Kansas State.
Is this good that we're this similar?
I will take Oregon plus 3 versus Utah. I will take San Diego State minus 10.5 versus UNLV. And my lock of the week is going to be UTSA minus 4.5 versus UAB.
Let's go. So we got 4 of the same. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I don't know if we've ever been that much on the same page before.
Yeah, I don't know if we've been on that much on the same page. That means if I do bad, you do bad.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. I don't think, like I said, we've never had this many similar picks, so we'll see then for the last couple of weeks if that's a good thing or not, if we're
right.
bringing it up or versus our battles. All right. Well, we're going to hit the break here real quick, and on the other side, we are going to jump back into NFL and talk about last week 10 and our picks for week 11. Stay tuned.
Twelve Sports has a new home for betting. BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12 Sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120Z and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sports book. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
And we are back here on the other side, and we are jumping right into some NFL. So, kicking it off right away, just kind of looking back real quick, and we'll touch on some of these games here, because there was a lot of uninspiring games to really talk about, but AFC is a bit of a mess as the Ravens decided to go Thursday Night Football, mess around, and lose. As I honestly wasn't even watching it, because I thought it wasn't even going to be interesting. Not going to lie. We had blowouts. Just going to touch real quick on that. Cowboys beat the Falcons by 40 as they went for 2 at one point to make it a 5-score game. I can't remember when it was. It was like, they went for 2 to make it a 5-score game instead of a 4. That's interesting. Patriots whoop on the Browns 45-7. The Bills destroyed the Jets 45-17. Panthers behind 2 Cam Newton touchdowns, 34-10. You only get 1 good Colt McCoy game. Not 2 in a row, just 1. We have the Eagles beat the Broncos pretty well, 30-13. And even with the 20 hours a day rehab, Packers beat the Seahawks with Russell Wilson back, 17-10. Got a blowout on Sunday night as the Chiefs get back up to the 41 points as a 41-14 win. And the 49ers with a pretty convincing and handily win against the Rams, 31-10 on Monday Night Football. So, obviously, I didn't mention all the games there, so we will touch on a couple more closer matchups, unless you had any lingering thoughts on some of those bigger, different scoring games.
Nope.
Cool.
We're good. Let's roll.
All right, we're rolling right in. We'll work backwards. We'll work from that 3 o'clock games there. The Vikings just sure decide to show up randomly, don't they?
Yeah, they're such a weird team, man, because, in my head, I'm like, you can't trust Kirk Cousins, but then sometimes you can.
Like, yeah, as long as it's not on prime time.
And I really feel like that defense should be a lot worse than it actually is, because I feel like their DBs on paper are supposed to be so bad, but then end up playing well in certain games. That's a very strange team that I don't understand, and quite frankly have an extreme hatred for, and will forever hate the Vikings because of the Minnesota Miracle.
That's right. I mean, and on the flip side, I mean, the Chargers have, with the hot start, we're both inside Charger fans for some whatever reason, and then they just kind of start crapping the bed all year.
Mm-hmm.
They took a big charge, no pun intended, but pun intended, at the beginning of the year. Looked like, oh man, this is the team. There we go. They're putting it together. They're not the teams of the past where they choke in close games, and then we have a close game loss versus the Patriots, almost losing to the Eagles, and then close game loss to the Vikings at home too.
Yeah. I
don't know. I can't figure it out. I hope the Chargers can right the ship. And the Vikings could make that last playoff spot. I'm still not sure on it.
Yeah. Just in general, like, all the teams seem not as good this year.
Yeah. AFC is a mess.
No one seems consistent. I don't know. I guess except for the Cards.
Yeah. As of me now, yeah, lost, but it was with backups. And then they lost to a Aaron Rodgers Packers team, so it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So, and then obviously, I guess the Packers are consistent. So,
yeah. Well, I'm just saying AFC side. AFC side's not consistent. NFC is a little more, not a ton, but a little more. It's just a very strange year overall, though.
Yeah.
And speaking of strange, Taylor Heineke just plays well against the Bucs, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe he has like beef with Brady or something. I don't know. But you're having what should have been my life. But yeah, I don't know, man. Sad to see Chase Young go out for the season, though. That really sucks.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. The thing that stood out with me with Washington so much this year is how much they just haven't been able to get what is a very good running back in Antonio Gibson going, which really sucks because I think he has all of the ability to be a top 10 back easily in the NFL, and I just feel like he's not being put in the position, whether sometimes that's game script, which you can't help much, but like, I don't know. I like McKissick, but like, to just the second that you're down, completely take the ball away from Antonio Gibson and solely play McKissick in those passing situations seems insane to me, because it's not like Antonio Gibson just can't catch the ball or can't play in passing situations. Right. So I don't know. I don't understand how they're using him quite some. I mean, obviously he played well in this game, 24 carries, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns, but it's not been like that throughout the season. So.
Oh, great. The next one on the list, since I decided to work this direction. The tie.
The tie?
The absolute... I just click on the game because I wanted to pull some stats for you, but the Gamecast pulls up, and the headline is Comedy of Errors as Steelers-Lions slog.
It really
216 tie. Just the absolute... Oh, man. I mean... just fighting out of everything for the Lions to win, to dropped interceptions, which, man, if he caught that, I'm not saying he was pick 6, but, I mean, apparently we needed to get it within 30 yards for the kicker to have a chance, Santoso.
That was one of the worst. Did it not feel like he didn't even try to put all his leg in it?
Right? I'm still so confused because, like, snap was good, ball laces were out, and it just, like... I saw the quote. It was because obviously everyone's feeling bad for me, and Mason and Cody both text in another group chat was like, it looked like one of us just trying to kick a field goal, and it just didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and like so it's almost like he was focused on the accuracy more than the power, and he didn't hit it hard enough. But then he also messed up on the accuracy.
Right?
like,
It's just,
like even if he had the distance, it would have been left right.
I just, golly, and then like the fight. I mean, the defense just putting up such a fight there. Like, I thought once that Johnson catch, I was like, oh crap, he's about to run it to field goal
It's
range,
like-
and they punch it out, and you're like, oh my gosh, we have life again, and then
Have
we
you
get
seen the
a
R. Kelly
holding.
Have you seen the R. Kelly meme from the interview? A horrible interview, like terrible situation. But the R. Kelly meme where he's like, "I'm fighting for my life, man."
Yes. They were
He was literally like that. I'm fighting for my life, man.
trying
Just
so
the defense
hard.
yelling at the kicker. Like,
Golly. I mean, they did. I mean, they chased him down, punched it out. Then we got the holding that bumped that back when we thought we were about to get. Yeah. I mean, we punted 10 times, man. Punted 10 times. But good punch out at the end to at least not lose, I guess, to force the tie.
I have never once experienced 10 punts in my life of a Saints fandom.
10 punts by just the Lions. 6 by the Steelers.
Insanity.
And just also, I mean, he obviously terrible kick there, but he missed an extra point too.
Yeah.
Just saying. And yeah, now apparently we're doing possibly the Boyle or the Blau job,
Oof.
because Goff might not play next week. That might be an upgrade. I don't know, man. It's not like a very inspiring backup quarterback room.
How are you feeling about the trade?
I mean, I wish we went with someone else that didn't force us to take Goff, but I mean,
Would you have rather just kept Stafford?
I wish we just traded him somewhere else.
Fair.
Traded him
Fair.
somewhere else that maybe would have gave us a pick this past year to draft a quarterback. We just made the move early, get the draft pick early, use someone in this draft class, or maybe just take a free agent flyer QB that we knew was only going to be like a transition guy and not force ourselves to watch Goff play. Like, even if we did it, like, and we just traded, and it was after the draft, and we traded for picks next year, like, go get ourselves like a Tyrod Taylor, where you know it's just a gap guy.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. So moving off of this game,
We'll give you Taysom Hill.
why not? Like, it's a gap guy. Like, we know.
I'll trade you Taysom Hill for a 7th round pick right now.
Sure. We'll just run Wildcat. That's basically what we did without a running quarterback. They threw 25 times and we ran 39.
Right.
Swift went 33 carries. I don't know if you knew, last thing, Dan Campbell took over the play calling duties, and he said, I don't trust Goff at all. Do not let him throw the ball. Just run it every down and hope something happens. Hope we break big runs. And it technically happened a couple times. But that's what leads you to a 16-16 game, that you run that 39 times.
It is indeed.
So, anyways, last 2 games bring up is, I mean, the Jags made it close.
I'm not hating the way the Jags are playing right now.
Showing a little life.
They've really rallied around. No, I'm just kidding.
They just put their finger on something that just got them to rally around, and they're just grinding it out. And
oh God.
They're not the butt of the jokes anymore.
Yeah, I do like the way the Jags are playing though. The way they're playing right now, scrappy, is the way I pictured them playing when I was like, I feel like they could sneaky be a team that was in contention for playoff, but not necessarily make playoffs.
Right.
That is what I envisioned for them when I was saying that. The scrappy team that could win some games here now down the stretch.
That's right. They need to get Chenault the ball more.
Well, they've pretty much cut him out. He has basically been replaced with Agnew. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, it is what it is.
Interesting. All right, well then it is time to force you to talk about another game you probably don't want to talk about.
So, first off...
The NFL hates you.
Say what?
Said first off, the NFL hates you.
Well, I'll get to that later, but we lost the game by missing 2 PATs. First of all, we missed 2 PATs that would have tied the game, and we would have been going into overtime, where in which we had all of the momentum. So that's the first thing that destroyed us. Second is the fact that the NFL hates us, and B, that was just it was not only a 7-point swing. If anyone knows what I'm talking about or doesn't know what I'm talking about, Titans had the ball right before the half, right around, I would say, maybe 2 minutes left. They're in the red zone, and we pick the ball off in the end zone, go out of bounds, so we would have got the ball at, I guess, 25, right? 25? Yeah, 25.
20. 20 on
20, 20, touchback 20. So we would have gotten the ball back at 20 with little under 2 minutes left, and at the very least, they wouldn't have scored. Well, instead, a horrible roughing the passer call. Absolutely. One of the worst ones we've had so far, right?
Oh, yeah.
By far one of the worst ones we've had. Gets called. We don't get the interception. They scored. That's a 7-point swing on itself. And the potential of it being a 10, probably not a 10 because we would have missed the field goal, but a 10 or a 14-point swing, and we ended up losing by 2 points, 21-23. So the NFL has absolutely screwed us out of a legitimately insane amount of games, and I know NFL fans that aren't Saints fans like to make fun of Saints fans for being like, y'all always think the refs are against you, and you always think the NFL is doing this and that, because they are. Like, are we serious? Like, it can't be denied anymore. Like, we are just getting destroyed by reffing. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. Also, Adam Troutman needs to get off the team. I've said my piece.
All right. Well, then, we'll just jump real quick into picks for next week. And if I got a minute at the end, I've got a quick tweet to share. All right. Thursday action.
I'm tied, by the way. 88-61.
Oh, yeah. We are tied. So there we go. Stretch down the stretch. Tied up. Picks. Thursday night football. I think we're both picking Patriots, so we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got Colts at Bills. I've got the Bills.
Yeah.
Ravens at Bears. Both going Ravens. Lions at Browns. I think both got the Browns.
Yep.
And Texans at Titans. We both going Titans.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to pick Packers, but is that Minnesota? So I will ask you, are you going for...
Nope.
Okay.
Packers.
We have 3-7 Dolphins at 2-7 Joe Flacco Jets. Dolphins.
I'm taking the Flacco Jets.
All right. There we go.
I am. I'm taking the Jets.
We have...
Quarter game, baby. Give it to me.
All right. Saints at Eagles. Where are you going?
Against my better judgment, Saints.
I'll go Saints as well. I feel like
Goodness.
That'll be interesting. Washington at Panthers. Give me Cam Newton all day.
Give me Cam Newton, baby.
Let's go. We got 49ers
I'm
at...
back.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns.
That was actually pretty cool.
It was. 49ers at Jags. I was close to picking the Jags, but I will go 49ers.
I was also very close to picking the Jags, but I like the way the 49ers defense is looking right now. So.
All right. Bengals at Raiders. Who you got?
I'm going Bengals.
Same.
I really, their offense is hurting now, man.
Yeah. Big game in the afternoon. I'm going to pick the Cowboys over the Chiefs, even in Kansas City.
I'm picking the Chiefs. I think we got pissed off Mahomes coming back for vengeance, baby.
Oh, did hear last week, Jackson Mahomes was not at the game, and he sure played pretty well. So, key to the Chiefs' success, don't let him in.
Don't let him in.
Cardinals at Seahawks. Kyler should play, so I'm going to go Cardinals again.
Yeah, Kyler's supposed to play. I'm taking the Cards.
Steelers at Chargers. Interesting game. Big Ben may not play. Joey Bosa's in potentially COVID hold, as he may or may not play. So I'll still take the Chargers, though.
I'm also taking the Chargers.
All right, Monday Night Football, probably the same. Giants at Bucks. Got the Bucks.
Yep, Bucks.
All right, so probably not much difference here this week, so won't see a shift. So real quick here, from the great account message board geniuses, Lane Kiffin's hurry up offense kills television rating and is bad for business. From Texas Ag's website, there is a reason NFL coaches do not run the play every 7 seconds. Injuries are expensive and it kills ratings. His style, like Bryles, does not fit the television drama of football. This is not the spread. This is short-sighted and misguided. Hurry up all games and hope the other team gets hurt more than your team. It causes officiating chaos and error.
How is this a tweet?
Don't Big 12 the SEC. Lane and the Pirate are bad for business.
I don't think that's true.
So, I find it very ironic that, of course, that's two teams that A&M did not beat this year, and that's what they're upset about, is apparently up-tempo offense is bad for business, but it also just means you can't keep up with them because Jimbo's offense is a little outdated.
Yep.
He sure can recruit, but he's got to get that offense a little more modernized.
Yeah, true.
So, there you go. Just wanted to share that fun, interesting, maybe put a small smile on your face from A&M fans being a little ridiculous.
Oh, they always are.
Yeah, so, well, there we go. That is our show this Wednesday. We will be back next week. We'll see how our picks hit. We are going to hit all four of our same picks, of course, on our college football side. But stay tuned next week for our results. See where we're going here. For the rest of the year, college football will be wrapping up very quickly, so that next playoff rankings will be very interesting to talk about. So, catch us here, We Talk Sports Good, on Twitter and Instagram. We'll always field any questions you want, and have a great rest of your week.
Uh-huh.